what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. A new defensive line target has entered the picture for LSU, or maybe been in the picture, but is starting to coalesce a bit, and that is Chad Woodfork. Not to be confused with his brother, Brad Metalspoon. Chad Woodfork's a 4-star top 50 edge rusher. That was pretty good, too. Huh? That was good. Okay, there we go.
I'll give you that one.
A 4-star top 50 edge rusher. And it's interesting because Bo Davis and Kevin Peoples already had great relationships with Woodfork when they made the switch to LSU. And before that, LSU wasn't really on his radar. But Bo Davis, one of the first to offer him when Davis was at Texas. And Peoples, just seemingly from everything we've heard about Peoples in terms of being an edge defender coach, is supposed to be one of the fastest risers in the college football ranks. Seems like a bit of a madman, personality-wise, just super high energy from reading Woodfork and what others have had to say about him. But Woodfork now has an official visit locked in for June 14th. It appears that TCU is the number one suitor for his services, with Texas Tech and LSU being in the top three. I got to say, if it's at a time when you need D linemen, you need interior more than edge, but still, at a time when you need D linemen, and you got a 4-star top 50 guy here, if your main competition for that player is TCU and Texas Tech, I know that he is a Texas cat, but I think you got to win that battle. Bo Davis, Kevin Peoples, you've invested so much in this staff. I think you got to win that battle. You even have the additional inroad of a friend and former teammate already on the roster in 2024, 4-star linebacker Xavier Atkins. So we'll keep an eye on Woodfork going forward. But again, I think that's a battle that you really should win. That said, right now On 3 is putting on an elite symposium of sort where they've invited the top 50 recruits in the nation to come and get educated about NIL and how to protect themselves and how to best navigate the Wild West that is college football right now. And what it means is that there's a lot of media availability for these guys. And we talked a bit yesterday about Decorian Moore, the 5-star number one wide receiver in the country, decommitting from LSU, looking like LSU was out, and then saying, no, I'm actually going to go on a visit to an official visit this time to LSU. So Decorian Moore still up for grabs, but his counterparts, Harlem Berry and Bryce Underwood, were as clear could be yesterday that they are 1,000% committed to the Tigers. And look, Harlem Berry saying, quote, if I could sign tomorrow, I would. Seems like Frank Wilson is the main reason why Harlem loves LSU. Says he feels like his best comp is Joe McKnight. That's very exciting for us old heads who remember Joe McKnight. I'll never forget going on an official visit with Joe here at LSU and the entire crowd pregame chanting Joe McKnight's name. It was absolutely wild. But Bryce Underwood coming out of Michigan, even more surprising in just how in love with the Tigers he is. Saying LSU's been his dream school since he was 12 or 13. And here was one of his quotes about the first time that he visited Baton Rouge. Quote, me having the opportunity to see what all the hype was about and everything I always dreamed about. Just going there and actually visiting and seeing what I had in store for the next 4 years of my life. That was probably the moment that I realized this is it. So very clear-headed in his path is Bryce Underwood. Am I crazy for reading a lot into the 4-year statement? Because if you read a lot of these recruiting articles like we do, generally these top guys nowadays say 3 years. They want to be 3 years in and out, bing, bang, boom, onto the league. So maybe a bit of maturity out of Underwood there, saying that, no, look, he plans to be there a bit for the long haul, maybe not play immediately freshman year, develop, and then take off after that. When asked about, okay, what were the kind of final pieces that really solidified it for you, Underwood mentioned the development of Jaden Daniels and watching his growth from Arizona State to where he finished at LSU, which, of course, how could that not be tantalizing if you were a young, very talented quarterback? But one of the other parts goes back to Joe Sloan, man. And who knows, this was probably a factor in making Sloan the OC. But when he talks about Joe Sloan, he is effusive in his praise, saying it goes way beyond just football, the relationship that those two have. And now Sloan's in a better position than ever to develop and get the most out of Underwood. When asked if he was going to visit other schools, which he is not, and he's already shut down other coaches from talking to him, he says, what's the point of committing if you're not ready to be committed? Worry about the school you are committed to. That's mainly what it is. If you are committed to a school, stay committed to a school. Don't commit too early. Commit when you feel like it's right. He would later say that his number one goal is to be the number one draft pick and a Hall of Famer, and his message to LSU fans, quote, be ready. That's it. Go Tigers. So I am getting very excited about Bryce Underwood, not just because of the physical skill set, but because of these quotes I think speak to a maturity, a mentality that would potentially, I mean, you never know if a quarterback's going to be good or not, right? But I love what the tea leaves are saying. I love the little bits of information that we can try to draw big conclusions from. I think they reflect very positively on Underwood, and I'm very excited to see Harlem Berry as well in a running back room that could, that probably needs a little infusion of some elite level talent. So all good, it would appear, on the 2025 recruiting front for your LSU Tigers. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.